Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Maria Girenko. I'm a student recruitment advisor here at Lancaster University Leipzig. Lancaster University Leipzig is a branch campus of Lancaster University, one of the top UK universities, and we are located in Leipzig, Germany. We offer a number of undergraduate and postgraduate programs, and today in this webinar, we will be focusing on a pre-master's program in business, which is a pathway preparatory program for our postgraduate programs in business. Today, I am joined by Colin Kay, our lecturer and program lead for business, including the pre-master's program in business, and one of our pre-master's students and student ambassador, Abigail. I think Colin will start with a presentation of the program. Then we will ask Abigail to share her experiences of studying with us. And in the end, we can answer any questions you might have. Okay, Colin, could you maybe start with a self-introduction and then go on to the presentation of the program?
Yeah, will do, of course. Just check you can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, hi, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. I don't know where you are at the moment. Yeah, my name's Colin Kay, and I'm originally from the UK, but I left the UK 16 years ago now and done a variety of different things in the kind of education and management domain. And my kind of academic background is bachelor's in business, master's in business, as you would expect. My PhD is a mixture of education, psychology, and business, and so I'm trying to merge all of these things together. And I'm probably one of the few people in academia that I've met that did a pathway course myself. I did a foundation pathway prior to my bachelor's degree, and I found it incredibly useful. So I'm very, very supportive of programs like this to help people transition into the system, to give them a bit of confidence, to build up the skills that maybe are required in order to be successful at the next level. And so what I'll do now is I'll just share my screen with you and talk you through a little bit about what the PMP, the pre-master's program in business, is about. So I should be sharing now. Is that all clear?
Yes,
great, thanks. So as you can see from the screen here, I'm the program lead for the pre-master's program in business. And ultimately what that does is it tries to do a few things, really. It tries to bridge the gap, essentially the gap between a bachelor's program and a master's program. If there's something missing, transition people in, and it does this for a number of reasons. Some of the things that Maria's just mentioned are really key when we consider what it is that it's trying to do, because Lancaster University is a university that performs very well in the rankings. If you Google them, you can see all of these things that I've put on this page right here, but these are the ones that I'm really emphasizing because it's one of the attractions mainly for people coming to a university like this. And the impact of that, or the connotations associated with that, I suppose, are those things that we want to make sure that people can have the right support networking going on to a rigorous master's program, which the master's programs here are, of course, right? We do pride ourselves in teaching and research expertise at the university. And so we want to make sure that every student that comes here is prepared and well prepared and ready to go at it, because these are really, really important aspects and really important things for our students and for the university. Couple more points here, as you can see, in terms of just business in general. A couple of the key points: 70th for business and management in the world according to the QS World University Rankings last year, 85th for business and economics according to the Times. These are consistent rankings that look really, really good for the university. And part of the reason, like I said, we want to be, how do I put this? We want to maintain the standards that we have had historically at Lancaster University, even improve upon them, but at the same time be accessible. And it's one of the reasons that programs like pathway programs and pre-master's programs in this case are very important, because we can be accessible to people that ordinarily might not have been able to get in onto these programs, and at the same time provide students with that right level of support in order to succeed. So when we're looking at the pre-master's program, we're essentially looking at Lancaster University Leipzig. They follow on, I'll come as a bit of a gap, as you can see here, between the bachelor's program and the MSc program. And so what we're trying to do is kind of bridge what may be missing, may not be missing, and check the skills and build certain skills in order for students to succeed. And so there are a number of different reasons in which students come into the pre-masters program, which could be the absence possibly of a particular level of degree classification from the first degree. It might be coming from a different system. It might be people coming in because they want to understand what it is exactly that is required at MSc level at Lancaster University. And so we position it somewhere, as you can see from the screen, between the bachelor's and the master's program. And depending on the module at which you are in, will determine how that is manifested in the teaching. So I teach one of the modules called Management Principles. And at the moment, what we're doing is ultimately giving students an overview of what it is that they would have studied in management throughout their bachelor's program, so they can bridge that gap and be in a similar position to our bachelor's graduates that are going on to the MSc as well. So it's positioned somewhere between the two. The next step, typically, I mean, we have two programs, as you can see. We have an MSc in Logistics and Supply Chain Management, which is actually quite a niche area. And we're in a great place for that, of course, being in Leipzig, a logistics hub here with DHL and Amazon and various other organizations here. But as you can see on the slide, it's designed for graduates that are interested specifically in logistics, supply chain management, distribution, and transport management. The MSc Management is probably a little bit more broad. Right, so we're looking at a variety of different things, but we're also looking at a general overview of what management actually is. So it still says it's focused on logistics and supply chain management, but it's a bit more broad and looking at people that are going into middle management from a general perspective. Now, in terms of the objectives, what we're looking to try and do comes in this kind of three methods or three model areas. So we're looking at preparing people for the demands of postgraduate degrees at Lancaster University in Leipzig, right? Some people, if I think of the current cohort, there's very few that have actually studied in the UK system before. And so we're looking at ensuring that students are understanding of what is required in the UK system, and they are prepared to do so. In doing that, we learn and practice the skills that underpin successful postgraduate study. So as I spoke about the module that I'm currently teaching, we will look at a range of different things, doing a lot of different things, assessing in different ways in order to understand what it takes to successfully study at this level. Right, and that can come in academic literacy, linguistic development as well, and looking at the way in which we communicate what it is that we are trying to communicate. It can also look at research skills, analysis skills, and evaluation skills, of course, which allows us to not only review and develop core academic knowledge, but really, really embed what it is that's required to be successful at this level. A short overview of the current lecturers. This may or may not be the same as we grow. Of course, we are forever expanding our lecturer base, but at the moment there are four of us. A fifth one has just joined, but on a short-term basis for the time being. So I've not added that person yet, but you can see we have specifics. Joey, for example, is a mathematician, also works with another university, and he wants to prepare students very, very well for the rigors of the maths and the logistics and supply chain management. Got Dr. Philip Hunnicle and Mark Martin, who are very much focused on critical thinking and communication skills. And then myself, with my background in management from a practical perspective and also in academia, I suppose, trying to bring this together. This is obviously subject to change, and it does develop quite dynamically as we grow. But nevertheless, I just want to show you that you have these lecturers that are there, they're focused on you. And one of the things that I will absolutely stress is that the lecturers are the first point of contact. They're excellent at what they do, but they're also very, very good human beings. And so it's really nice to kind of promote that now and show that you can approach these. We call them by their first names. They're human beings, and they're there to help you. One of the things that is not always at the forefront of people's minds is the way in which we teach. And so teaching at Lancaster University Leipzig, for me, coming from the UK, is quite common. It's something that I class as being a typical framework of teaching and learning, but nevertheless, from other formats and from other systems and other cultures, it can be very, very different. So we have what we call a lecture seminar format, where we have the traditional lecture, and the idea behind the lecture is to deliver information. The core information is required. It's more based on knowledge and the information that it is that you require to kind of build on and learn and develop and apply. And if you were to picture a big hall with people talking at you, that would be partially true of what it is that it's about. But what we pride ourselves on here is a small, familial almost environment. So we can afford the luxury in many ways of not only giving information at this basic core level, but also having an interactive element to it. And so maybe Abigail will speak to that a little bit later when we speak to the student ambassador, and explain that this is part of what we learn. We talk, we learn, we take concepts, we question, and we have this interactive element to it. And so some of the formats that you might get are an hour lecture and then an hour seminar, which would be applied learning, 2-hour lecture or 2-hour seminar, which would, again, the seminar would be the applied learning. And the focus area of a seminar is to take a core concept, look at it, build on it, and apply it to what it is you're doing. So it can come in the format of, for example, in management, it would be a management problem. You might be asked to present certain things to justify your stance and engage in debates, that type of stuff. And as you can see in the bottom bullet point, a problem-solving, analytical, evaluative approach to discussion is expected. And so we are asking quite a lot. But ultimately, this is a system that we know works, that we are very, very proud of, and is something that is actually replicated in the British university system. So something to get used to. And this pre-master's year is almost a transition into that in many ways. In terms of the way in which that manifests itself, right, there's different ways in which, and these are just two of them, different ways in which the lecturer might do it. But two of the ways that I'm aware of that are operating right now is that you would do some pre-reading, first of all, and go into a lecture with some core knowledge, where the lecture then becomes a bit more discursive, where there's a bit of an expansion upon what you have read. You can ask questions, you develop, you take notes, of course, and then there's a seminar activity to embed that learning. Another format I've seen is that the lecture actually becomes the very first part, the first introduction to the way in which, or the content that you're going to study. So it'll be brand new information, possibly you take some notes, and then there'll be some reading on a particular case study. You would then have an embedded learning seminar activity, and then follow up with some post-reading, and it becomes a little bit more cyclical. These are not the only two ways in which the learning is likely to happen. The lecturers very much have free rein to do as they see fit. And it is, of course, encouraged for you to speak to them about it. They will explain it to you in any great detail. One of the main things, and this is something that we impress upon from the start, is that independent study underpins everything here. And it says there, the majority of your work at postgraduate level, there are a certain amount of contact hours, and then there are many other hours that are allocated to your study. And most of it is directed by the lecturers. They will say, hey, take a look at this, have a read of these journal articles, go and find this stuff and read it, maybe write a few notes and things. But a lot of emphasis is, certainly by the end of the course, is on the students to be able to autonomously kind of navigate the area of interest for them. In terms of assessment, it says here, we have ongoing formative assessments, and an analogy that was shared with me a long time ago is when I was doing my teacher training many years ago now, was that formative assessment is the equivalent of a chef. When a chef tastes the soup, that is the ongoing, oh yeah, this is okay, maybe needs a little bit more salt or whatever. And then the summative assessment is the test, it's the real test that goes out to the customers, right? And so we look at this on two levels as well. The ongoing formative assessments are the things that we do in class, where the lecturer is checking to check that you understand the learning, they're posing questions, and you're building on these things. And then you have the summative assessments, the ones that you're used to in exam formats. We also do them in presentations, reports, and case studies, for example. There are lots of different ways in which they can come together, but we look at doing this on a varied scale, in particular in the pre-masters, to show what it is it could be like and to develop all of these skills. We go back to the very first thing that I said. And in each module, there are 3 or 4 summative assessments that are set out over the year. And we're actually quite fortunate in that we we have people dedicated to looking at the timetable to show that to prevent it from being a build-up. Now, there are times of the year where there are exam weeks, of course, but it tends to be spread out the rest of the time. The rest of the assessments tend to be spread out. The final thing that I'm going to share with you for now is about assessments. One of the things that we have with grading systems is very different to other university systems, or not the university systems, but cultural systems, where anything above a 70% with Lancaster University and in the British system in general is classed as excellent. Anything above 70%. And so you can see anything between 70 and 100, it's the highest grade you can get. Between 60 and 69 is still a good score, and a pass is from 50 to 59. And so you can actually pass the course with around 50%. You would need a higher grade than that to progress. You'll be looking at a 60% average to progress, but we'll talk about that later on once you are looking to gather more information. And the key thing here is that the system tends to differ from other university systems and other cultural systems around the world. And so we emphasize that at this point. So in the case of a student recently that was awarded a 72%, and we were very happy and very proud to present that grade to that student. That student had come from a different system and was questioning, and they were a little bit upset because it was below 90. So it's just something to embed in your mind at this point. So in terms of my side, I open to questions or extra comments from some other people, from my colleagues, and I will stop the sharing now.
Thank you very much, Colin. There was one question that just recently one student asked me, how many contact hours are there actually? You already mentioned how the teaching is structured. How many hours should the students plan for?
It's actually different per module. And so, for example, if I were to say for the management module that I'm teaching right now, there will be 48 contact hours over the year. There would be a bunch of other hours allocated on top of that related to directed reading and practicing other things. And then there'd be an extra bunch of hours allocated that is student-led. And so I wouldn't want to say any more than that at this point, but if we can share all of this information, we have it all documented, and each module has their own structure.
Yeah, thank you. And another question that students actually frequently ask for different programs: what is an average class profile like of the students? We have now only had 2 intakes for the pre-master's program, so maybe it's a bit too early to judge, but maybe you could comment on that. Is it mostly students coming directly from the undergraduate degrees, or are those mature students with the working experience, or is it a mix of both? What would you say?
Yeah, that's a very good question. It's maybe too early to be able to generalize, right? As you said, we only have 2 intakes so far, but it's been very diverse in terms of student backgrounds. I would say we have, for example, in the 2 cohorts now, a range of people that have studied engineering, for example, and then they want to kind of apply their engineering into a management setting or a supply chain setting, so they've come and done this. We have people that have worked predominantly as managers or middle managers that have little or less formal academic experience that are coming into the course, and they have others that are coming from other disciplines as well. We also have other management students that have studied management in different parts of the world and want to come and look at it from this perspective as well. So it is at the moment looking like it will continue to be quite diverse and grow, but I would expect that.
Okay, thank you very much. I would just like to add a couple of points to what Colin just said. So as he mentioned, we will be offering 2 master's programs in business-related fields in October 2023, which is Masters in Logistics and Supply Chain Management and Masters in Management. And those degree programs are issued directly by Lancaster University in the UK. So they are the diploma that the students get is equivalent to the UK diploma, but our graduates can benefit from access to the German labor market and exciting job opportunities here in the region. So for example, for logistics and supply chain management, we have a large DHL hub, the biggest in Europe here, located in just next to Leipzig. And we have a lot of logistics companies. So this is a great place to study, for example, logistics and supply chain management. And for Master of Science in Management, this is, as Colin already mentioned, this is a more generic degree, which is open to applicants from different backgrounds who want to excel in their careers and just learn more about different management strategies and so on. And I would like to refer all of you interested in our pre-master's program and our master programs to visit our website, lancasterleipzig.de, where you can find country-specific entry requirements, more information about our tuition fees, and information about our scholarships, because we are happy to announce scholarships for all applicants for the pre-master's program and master programs for October intake 2023. So great. Now I would like to ask Abigail to join back. And yeah, Abigail, could you please say a couple of words about yourself, where you come from, your background, and why you chose to study with us?
Okay, hi everyone, my name is Abigail and I'm from Taiwan. And actually I'm the student who's studying engineering in my bachelor degree. My major is industrial engineering. And now I'm studying the master program in Lancaster University Leipzig.
Yeah, thank you. And why did you choose to study here in Germany, in Leipzig, and specifically at Lancaster University Leipzig?
Yeah, I think because first of all, as you mentioned before, the location here is really good because actually we are in the Europe and here's so many famous like logistic company here like DHL or Amazon. They all have the like quarter in the Leipzig. So if we want to like go to tour and maybe go to get the internship, it's really convenient to find a job in Leipzig, so we don't need to like move to other city and find an internship. And also, I think Lancaster University Leipzig have a very good like multiple culture in here. We have so many different country students, and we all together in here. So if you come here, you can know like plenty of people in the whole world, and you can know a new culture in here and also knew the really good people in here.
Yeah, thank you. That is true. Our campus is very diverse. We have, at the moment, we have students from 75 different nationalities, which is great. This is a very diverse community. Okay, Abigail, what is it that you enjoy the most about your pre-master's program? And maybe there is something that you find challenging.
I think just sometimes we have like presentation or report, like assessment need to do it, and sometimes individual work, sometimes teamwork, and try to like negotiate with the teammate. It's a kind of challenge because you need to use like more professional way to think about some assessment, and also when you talk to your classmate, you need to have a good negotiate with her or he, and also like try to do the work a great job. And as you guys expect, it's a different because we all from different cultural backgrounds, so we have different education systems, so we have different view about this. So it's really interesting to know about the different, and also you can more adventure, but it's really interesting. I'm really enjoying this process.
Yeah, good to hear. And do you feel that this program is preparing you for the master's program? Like, are there any specific modules that you feel that you like, maybe you're learning something new that you didn't know before, that is different from your educational system? How is this program preparing you for your further studies?
Oh yeah, for me now we have 2 class from teacher Philip, which is he teaches so many like writing skills or like reading skill in the class, and also recently we focus on the reference, like not to plagiarism and like more academic writing or something. I think it's really helped me to like prepare to go to the master to writing about more thing. And also Colin's business class, we have so many practical discussion about our previous job or internship, and we will like not just study the new thing from the book, but we also have some practical application in the real world. So it's not that boring because we can really do something in the real world, not just on the book.
Yeah, good. Sounds very good. Is there, you already mentioned that you would like to study logistics in the future. So you are planning to progress onto our Master of Science in Logistics and Supply Chain Management. And what are your future plans? What are you planning to do after you graduate?
Oh, for me, because I'm really like addicted with the car industry. So for me also, I trying to find some relation internship in the car industry. So if there's a possible, can go to work in some relation job about the supply chain and like combine with the car, or maybe about the car industry or some relation component industrial, I think it will be fine.
Good luck with that. And one last
Thank you.
question. Is there some advice you could give to prospective international students? Because now you have this experience of moving to another country, to Germany from Taiwan. Is there maybe something that you would advise to other students planning to do the same?
Oh yeah. First of all, I think you should just have the open mind to know the new thing you will face, because I think I'm from Taiwan, so Asian have so many different type of thing compared than Europe, and also you are in Germany. So I think if you decided to come here, it's better to know some German in here, so you can like hello, or like hello, how are you, like something like this, just easy things. So when you go to like grocery store or like something, or in the train, or you want to say something to the stranger but you don't know how to say, and someone don't know the English, so it's better to know some German here. Of course, as Lancaster University Leipzig also supply the German class. We have A1 class and A2 class. You can keep studying here, and the all class is for free. You just need to enrollment in the university. So I think just have the open mind, have a little bit German, and just preparing to meet the new people in here. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's see if we have any questions. I think I do not see any at the moment. But actually, coming back to the question that I asked Colin first, Abigail, would you say that you have more independent study hours than in-class hours? What is your timetable like, and how much do you have to study at home compared to in-class hours?
I mean, depends on how much work give from Colin. If he give us like article to read, and it really depends on like the personal reading speed. So if there has more, then I think I need to do more time. And also because now we have 2 days off, so when I don't have class, I will try to reading the article in the day I don't have the class, because I can have more flexible timetable, so I can like read my speed, so I don't need to like so fast to reading but I don't understand the meaning. I can like totally absorb the things from the article and get prepared to discussion in the class.
Okay, thank you. So I think we do not have any questions at the moment. Thank you for attending the webinar. Thank you, Colin, for your presentation of the program. I think it covered most of the content, structure, and objectives of the program. Thank you, Abigail, for sharing your experiences. It's nice to hear that you're enjoying your time in Leipzig, and good luck with your future career plans. Thank you, everybody, and we wish you a good day. Greetings from Leipzig. Goodbye.
Bye bye.